we want to thank you all for being here. We've got so many different groups of people, it's going to be impossible to name them all. I know that Rusty's going to make some special acknowledgments here shortly, but we want to take a few minutes of our day to show you appreciation for all you've done to support our students and our school. This school is so dependent upon relationships such as we've been able to cultivate with you all, and what we hope that we've been able to demonstrate is that our students and our program has also been beneficial to your business as well. But we certainly could not do this without your help and support. So in a few minutes you're going to hear some impact statements from students and from a parent, and we're going to see some recognitions of some specific students who are getting some special some awards today. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Rusty.
As I like to start off every advisory council and the advisory board meeting, I always like to start with thank you, thank you, thank you for coming, thank you for being here. We here at Vernon, we never take your time for granted, and we appreciate you being here to support our students, our staff, and our school. So thank you for that. Thank you to Wake County Schools. Thank you to Wake Tech Community College as well. The advisory council, and also thanks to Chick-fil-A for helping us make this happen today. So with that said, I want to just take a look at some numbers. As business partners, here are some of the things that you've done to help us this year. We did a mock interview session earlier in the year. We had 24 business partners participate in that with us, and we had 75 students attend that day. Internships. We had 30 students participate in internships this year, and that was 24 businesses, 24 different business partners opened up their doors to our students to come and have a professional experience. So again, we appreciate that. Guest speakers. We had 38 guest speakers in the building this year. Pretty much our entire student body was touched by a student speaker through Ready, through classroom experiences. Our entire school was not only touched by a guest speaker, but in many cases, probably several guest speakers throughout the year. Field trips. 26 partners, and a little over 50% of our population this year got to go off-site for a learning experience to a business. A business partner opened their doors to allow our students to see what their work environment looked like and to have that opportunity to see what that professional environment might look like when our students left here. Last year's Career Expo, which as many of you know is going to happen today. This year's will be today after this event. But last year's we had 31 business partners, and again 328 students throughout the school got to experience the event and got to be involved and engaged with business partners. So that leads to the last thing that I want to say before we really get into why you're here and the fun part of the event. As many of you probably already know, there's a story about starfish on a beach. Most of you know the story, but if you'll humor me for a second, I want to read it to you because it's really why we're here. One day an old man was walking along a beach. It was littered with thousands of starfish and had been washed ashore by the high tide. As he walked, he came upon a young boy who was eagerly throwing the starfish back into the ocean, one by one. Puzzled, the man looked at the boy and asked, "What are you doing?" Without looking up from his task, the boy simply replied, "I'm saving these starfish, sir." The man laughed out loud and said, "Son, there are thousands of starfish. You can not save them." The young boy, without looking up, he picked a starfish up, he threw it into the water, and he said, "I made a difference to that one." What I'm here to tell you today is that at Vernon Malone, we have hundreds of starfish laid on the shore. And you as business partners have been able to help one by one. You came and you spoke, and you may have left thinking, did any of those kids listen to what I said? I'm here to tell you that one got the message. And so what we're going to do next is I'm going to let you hear the stories of the one from Vernon Malone.
All right, good morning. My name is Edgar. I'm a senior in the program of collision auto repair, and I want to thank you guys for coming and giving me an opportunity to share my story. So I first realized I had to take control over my success when I was in the 7th grade. I was one of those very smart kids who always got in trouble, AOC, after school detention, ISS. But as much as I tried to give up, my teachers never gave up on me. They always pushed me to be greater than I was. And they decided to put me in this booster program, which caught me up with the grade I was supposed to be in. And because they saw I could actually pass it, they saw the potential that I never saw in myself. And when it was time to move on to the 8th grade, I took the booster program and I graduated. After all my tears and suffering, I was able to graduate and move on. So I was able to skip the first semester of 9th grade, and I went on to Eastwick High School in my 2nd semester of 9th grade. And I realized if I stayed in 9th grade at Eastwick and for my junior and senior year, I realized that I was going to go nowhere, and I had to move, mostly because my mom forced me to. So I heard about Vernon Malone College Career Academy, and during that time, my sister, she was attending Vernon Malone College Career Academy as a nursing student, and I found out that they had courses that had to do with cars, and I was very passionate about cars during that time, so I applied, and I got accepted. So it was finally my first day at VMCCA as a 10th grade student, but the summer before that was the summer my dad left my family and I. And it was very hard and difficult times in my life. I lost motivation for school, I didn't care about anything, and I was more focused on getting money and picking up my family from the grounds. I grew up working since I was 8 years old, as a roofer, as a mechanic, as an electrician. And when my dad left, I had to work even harder. I had 2 jobs. I was going in at 3 o'clock, getting out at 6, going in at 6, and getting out at 11. And I had schoolwork, I had projects, presentations I had to worry about, and it was all so hard for me I couldn't do it. But as much as I wanted to give up, my teachers and my mentors, they tried even harder to push me back up. And it all started my junior and my senior year when I first realized that I was taking this school that my teachers and business partners built. I was taking this school for granted, and I realized I had to change myself. And like someone once said, if I really wanted something as much as I want to breathe, then I'll be successful. And thanks to the contribution of our business partners, I had the opportunity to take place different activities and school events. For example, Skills USA, I placed first place at regionals, and I placed 4th place at scales last year. But this year we were having a hard time. Some teachers told us we weren't going to be able to go, some did, but thanks to business partners like Ben Rogers, he gave us the opportunity to go into his shop. He opened the doors up for us so we could practice our skills, and gave us tips to become better. And with that, we went on to Skills USA this year. I took first place at regionals and 4th place at skills for states this year, like last year. So like Mr. Baldwin said, out of 20-some students in our rating class, 19 can be distracted, not focusing on all the amazing tips that you guys gave us, all the important information. But I was that one student who really did focus and wanted to better myself. So I want to tell you guys, thank you very much for coming to present to us, to give us your life experiences. And I just want you to just keep on trying with us, and please don't give up, because our future generation depends on you guys. And thank you to our business partners. I am one of those graduates who are going to go into the work industry and make it better. I see myself today, and I stay shocked for a minute, and I think who I am. And thanks to our business partners, I know who I am. And if it wasn't for Vernon Malone College Career Academy, I would stay at East Wake. I would have been involved with drugs. I would have been involved with gangs. I would have been locked up or probably even killed. And I know it sounds awful, but that's the reality of teenagers like me. but thank you to our business partners and Vernon Malone. I was able to change my life and become better. And as of May 22nd, I'll be graduating from Vernon Malone College Academy and ready for obstacles that come my way. And thank you guys for coming and hearing my story.
Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? My name is Elise Knight and I'm a senior here at Vernon Malone and I'm in the cosmetology program. When I first applied to Vernon Malone, that instant thought came to my head that I wouldn't get that high school experience or that field. But today I am proud to say that this was the experience just right for me and I wouldn't do it any other way if I could. I would like to say a huge thank you to those who helped make VMCCA what it is. Sponsors, faculties, teachers, and students, I thank you. I was once a shy freshman, but look at me now. This is none of me, but all of you. Cosmetology has always been in my reach. Growing up, my family was involved in the hair industry, so it's in my blood. So cosmetology is one of my passions. To be able to pursue one of my dreams to become a licensed cosmetologist for free, F-R-E-E, free, that was amazing. You don't know how much that has helped me and my family so much. My freshman year, my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. VMCCA has supported me in so many ways, from just being able to come to school and do something that I love, and like Skills USA competitions that I've placed in every single one, and to support from staff. I've often been told that you're always smiling. I love to spread the positive energy and promote VMCCA for what it is. My mother gained her wings and went on to glory in the summer of 2018. She taught me so well, but let me tell you something, that did not come hustle. VMCCA has created a mindset for me. Many students can't say that they're ahead of the game, but with VMCCA, I can. I have decided to continue here at Vernon Malone through the 13th year program, obtain my cosmetology license and my associate's degree in cosmetology, and then attend a 4-year university. I am so excited. Without VMCCA, I wouldn't be who I am today. I can't stress that enough. I've been given so many opportunities here at Vernon Malone, and I think I've taken just about all of them. I've worked so hard here at Vernon Malone. I just wouldn't trade this for anything. I've been told I'm quite the face of Vernon Malone, literally. I was awarded the 2018 through 2019 Spotlight Student Award from Wake County Public School System. Vernon Malone College and Career Academy was just right for me. And remember, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, and of course add a little spice and sugar to it, you know? Thank you again, sponsors, faculties, teachers, and students. Again, none of me, but all of you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Noah Soul. I'm in the 12th grade and I'm in the Simulation and Game Development program area. So, at the end of the 8th grade, I was looking into all my options, where I could go to high school and what I could do with my life, because that's just how I think. And I saw this opportunity to come to Vernon Malone. And none of the program areas really stood out to me, but there was simulation and game development. And for all my life, I was always told, that's unrealistic to think that you could be in like a creative industry, to be in a video game industry. That's unrealistic. You should work in an office. You should do something useful, And it was so great to see that I could go into high school and learn the skills that I always wanted to learn, to be in the industry that I always wanted to be in. So yeah, freshman year, went great. It was a great time. Met a lot of good friends. And then at the end of that, my parents got divorced, and it was really tough. And I was having a tough go at life. But because this school was just so great, and the community of students and of teachers and of course of the business partners, all of that, this just great community that we built, I didn't let anything get me down. And I always wanted to push myself, to reach that goal that I set, that was told to me as unattainable, that I couldn't be in a video game industry, I couldn't work in something like that. And so I really just wanted to prove everybody wrong. But this school is just so great. Aside from the Wake Tech educational opportunities, the core classes, the Wake County side, you know, all of that, it's just so, you know, I feel that I've gotten better than the true high school experience. Everybody always talks about the real high school experience, you know, like the John Hughes movie, like whatever you want to say. The high school experience is so important in life. And I don't know if I had the traditional high school experience, but I've really had a great one. Like I said, educational opportunities, and then industry opportunities, like with the business partners, like with what Mr. Baldwin was talking about, like Skills USA that Edgar was talking about. For the game industry, you know, for the simulation and game development classes, we go to the East Coast Game Conference every year. And that's just such a valuable experience. We get to be in the industry. We get to see all the development. And North Carolina is such a great place for game development. Everybody's heard of Fortnite. Epic Games is here. That new Spider-Man game, Insomniac Games is here. There's so many things in North Carolina and the Raleigh-Durham area. It's just such a great industry to be a part of and to get to see all the ins and outs of it. And I especially got to see the ins and outs of the game industry when I got an internship this semester at Solanimus. It's a little company down in Fuquay, Verena. This is my supervisor, David Klingler, and he's also the president of that company. And it was just so valuable to get into the industry and really, like, you know, dip a toe in there. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I mean, the school is great. We've got a great community. I've made some of the best friends I've ever had in my whole life. And I just feel like this experience will carry on for my entire life. And so, you know, without the business partners, none of this would be possible. So I'd like to thank all of you guys.
Good morning, everyone. My son, Christopher, is a senior here at Vernon Malone. He came to the school as a freshman, enrolled in the GIS program. But just before he started the Wake Tech classes, that program was canceled, and so he had to sign up for new classes relatively quickly. He chose the facilities management curriculum and soon discovered it was the right place for him. It was clearly destiny. I've always known how smart and capable my son is, but the problem was he did not. I am his mom, so even though, as the name implies, I know everything, I was not the one to convince him otherwise. Hence the need for the proverbial village. Chris was encouraged to apply for the internship program for those here at Vernon Malone, by those here at Vernon Malone, and he was educated in interview skills and resume writing, thanks to Jill Oliver. As anyone here who is a hiring manager knows, that is a tremendous skill to have, one that can make or break a job interview. He interviewed with Piedmont Service Group. They brought several staff members. They did individual and group setting interviews, and this practice alone is worth its weight in gold. He was offered an internship position at this time last year when he was 16. He worked 40 hours a week, paired with an experienced technician over the entire summer, even after the internship program was over. I was and still am completely impressed with how they took my son under their care and shared all their skills and knowledge. Piedmont is completely invested in this program and the Vernon Malone students. The techs at Piedmont appear to take this task very seriously, and some even call them their work son. What they probably do not realize, the act of teaching someone a skill is the best way to reinforce said skill. When you teach someone, you go back to the basics and follow all the proper procedures. These techs are also enhancing their own skills in the process. Not only is my son gaining valuable knowledge about HVAC, he's gaining valuable competence. Let me share a small example. A few weeks ago, Mr. Baldwin asked Chris to come here and speak at an intern information night. Chris said yes. He wanted him to spend 5 or 6 minutes talking just about what it was like to be an intern. That night, Chris got up. He was so nervous. He spoke well. He handled himself very well, and it lasted about a minute. This is not quite what Mr. Baldwin probably had hoped for, but the fact is Chris said yes. Previous to him participating in this program, he would not have even considered doing it. He works most Saturdays now, since school started, and they have a tech come get them and bring them home, which I very much appreciate. During the school week, I practically have to beat him with a stick to get him out of bed. But when he knows a Piedmont truck is pulling in at 5:30, he is dressed and ready by 5:15 without any encouragement or beatings. I'm loving every minute of it. He is learning how to be a part of a team, speak with customers and the public that he meets. He has his own personal set of tools, which he maintains, organizes, and keeps track very efficiently, unlike his room, which should be condemned. He has competed in several HVAC competitions, and I'd like to thank Mr. Lofton for his support and encouragement. He's placed fourth at the fair against working adults, and the first at the Negro Regional Skills USA. Each have been valuable learning experiences for all aspects of life. At the end of this program today, Chris will be officially signing on with Piedmont Service Group. He has been offered several other positions from other companies over the last few months, which he politely declines. He is all in at Piedmont. He is aware of the precious time and energy that it has given to him in his future. Piedmont has gained, or perhaps created, a loyal, dedicated employee who is learning the trade the way they feel is the proper method. Talk about a win-win. I am an accountant by trade and know about company finances. Although Chris is paid a generous rate and can continue to work after the internship program is over, I am aware that not all business partners can afford to do that. Please don't let this stop you from participating in the program. When companies put a job opening out there could be 100 or more resumes, depending on the role. Having real-world experience on that resume can make a difference between getting an interview or being put in the trash can, whether it's a paid position or not. Piedmont Service Group has set the bar high, but I challenge any business partner here to strive to beat it. Success is in the trying. What better way to serve your community than by investing in our youth, helping young people gain a skill set that will enable them to become valuable, safe-sustaining citizens, all while enhancing your own workforce. My son is well on his way to becoming just that, and I'm so proud of the man he is becoming. As an added bonus, when our own unit broke, he was able to fix it himself. That's my win-win. Before I go, I'd like to thank Vernon Malone, Rate Tech, and Piedmont Service Group for being a part of my family's village. I will forever be grateful for the positive impact you've had on his present and future. Thank you.
As I promised, I think that the four individuals who spoke, they said it very well, and there's nothing I can say to follow up any of that. So we are going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to move to some special presentations, starting with BOMA. So if the folks from BOMA would like to come up, I'll turn the floor over to them.
Good morning, everybody. Rusty, thank you for having us. My name is Sabrina Jones. I'm the current BOMA Raleigh-Durham president, and I'm also the director of property management at CBRE Raleigh, right here in downtown Raleigh. BOMA, as an organization, for those of you who don't know, it stands for the Building Owners and Managers Association. We have about almost 200 members strong right here in the Raleigh-Durham market, and about half of them are made up of property management professionals, and the other half are made up of vendors in the HVAC trade, electricians, plumbers, and they all represent the top quality vendors in the market. We are absolutely thrilled as an organization to be able to be here and to support the next generation of the trades that you guys are talking about today. It's so exciting for us. I've been doing this for 20 years, and seeing the crop of folks out there who are available for the jobs that we have open. We just need really good folks like yourselves that have a really strong work ethic, good customer service skills, and the trade skills that you guys are learning how to have today from Vernon Malone. So thank you for having us, and we appreciate being able to have the opportunity to be involved to support everything that you're doing here.
I'm Martha Abernathy. I'm on the BOMA Education Committee, so I'm the one that meets with Mr. Baldwin, and also got to go shopping with Mr. Hawkins for some of these toolkits, which we are going to present this morning. And before I do that, if your company, if you or your company is a member of BOMA, would you please either stand, or if you're already standing, raise your hand. Yeah, so I want you all to see that not only is this a bunch of property managers, but it truly is a bunch of really good business partners, of which Piedmont and many other good HVAC and electrical companies are part. Okay, so now to the good stuff. Since Vernon Malone has given you the mental tools to do your jobs, we would like to give you the actual physical tools. So for HVAC, would Chris Mason and Jordan Mavens please step forward? Okay, each get a tool, power drills. Yeah. And you also get We also funded some toolkits in the electrical trade, so we would like to present these to Gavin Hildebrandt and Cameron Dahl.
Cam. Whoop, whoop.
So I'll invite the folks from Piedmont up and let them do their presentation with Chris Mason, and we're going to send him off to work.
He's still got to finish school.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Keith Summit, President of Piedmont Service Group. I'll try not to use too many acronyms and what I got to say so everybody can follow along. But Piedmont is a commercial industrial heating and air conditioning company. We also install and service energy management systems. Follows along with that, we also do a lot of building automation and building analytics in commercial facilities. I wanted to thank Vernon Malone, of course, Wake County Schools, and Wake Tech for collaborating together in building this facility. I wish we had something like this when I went to high school, but I think it's just great that students can come into high school and get introduced to different trades and kind of test that water and see if any of them appeal to them. When I was coming along, we really didn't have that. We kind of had to fumble around and usually ended up working for one of our neighbors and kind of figured out what they did and decided we liked that or not, or moved on to the next program. So to me, I just wish I had thought of this instead of the school. So anyway, I really do think this is a very great program. Also wanted to say that, you know, for us, just to give you an idea what the trades, we're not unique in what we do, but I think this follows all the trades, the plumbing, carpentry, electrical, and the air conditioning. Just when people hear air conditioning, they just think about the heating or the air conditioning. But we have so many other jobs and careers just in our company alone. So you can come in and do installation of heating and air conditioning. You can come in and do servicing of that equipment. We have people, like I said, in energy management, so they can come in and do energy management installs, service. We have guys that are programmers that program the controls we install. We have guys that do graphic design for us for our controls. And then we have guys that are integrators and write code. So it's just not going out there and working with the tools and installing heating and air, but there's so many other careers that you can go to. From that, you can move up and be promoted up into sales or into management. So I think people will find that these trades are very competitive in what they can offer as far as pay and benefits. So I do encourage people to get involved with this, test this while you're here. It's a great program you can try, and you'll be surprised, I think, at how well the pay is for that. Another thing to point out is the job opportunities are vast out there in these trades. I read a study a couple of weeks ago that said in the next 10 to 15 years, over 40% of the people in the trades will be retired. There's not enough students coming into our fields to replace those who are retiring. To give you an idea of the quantity of people we're talking about, in TVJ this week, they had in there that there will be over 50 million people in the trades retiring next year alone. So it is a vast number. And it's a problem that's going to impact all of us. I mean, either through being able to get service at your home or the place you work. We have problems with comfort. The air conditioners break. It may take a lot longer for someone to get out there than it does today. Same thing for electrical problems, plumbing, carpentry, all of them. So again, just to pinpoint how important I do understand that a lot of parents, that are students at the high school level, are trying to talk to them about, hey, let's get you through high school, get you into a university, and get a 4-year degree. From what I've seen and what you hear and you read about now, kids coming out of 4-year programs, most of them average $38,000 in debt, and the majority of them never get into what they got the degree in. So again, I look back to the trades, and you're learning a specific trade, and I will tell you, anywhere you want to go in North America, if you learn a trade, you got a job. You don't have to worry about going somewhere and taking months to find work. They're always looking, just like we are, for students with experience to come into our trade. So I think, again, what they've done here is just very, very special. I also wanted to say I'm very proud of Chris Mason's parents that encouraged him to get enrolled through the trades here and take advantage of running alone. We're looking forward to a lot more students like Chris coming through the program. We are set up in North Carolina to do scholarships. We are going to invest heavily in the internship and scholarship and apprenticeship programs. It's a way for us to replace our retiring employees. Another thing we're doing to try to help out with the younger people coming into it, at least for our company, when they're coming in. We know you haven't got a lot of experience in heating and air conditioning. So what we're trying to do, and what we just recently did, is we invested very heavily in the software that's going to help us educate the young ones coming in with 1 year or less of experience. So this part of the software, what it does is allows them with their smartphone to talk to other peers and our senior technicians. So when they're out there and have a problem, they're not alone. They can show them what they're looking at, they can talk to them, they'll guide them through it. Mark McCurdy is here with us today. He's heading up the training of that. We're developing a training library. We understand millennials learn with YouTube, so we're on board with that. I think it's a great tool. He's putting together a lot of video. We're going to a training library. So if someone like Chris is going out tomorrow at our company and he knows he's changing the motor out on the 5-ton heat pump, he can watch a YouTube video that night. It shows him step by step by a senior tech all the procedures to get that done and being safe while he's doing it. So again, I think this is a great tool to help these people along. We know that we're going to run out of skilled labor going forward. So we've got to expedite how quick we get these people trained up in their career, and also to make sure they're safe out there, because that's where our technicians work alone all day. So we're investing in this and investing in this program to help them speed up their education and training. I guess lastly, I'd like to say that I am a product of the community colleges, so I do respect them. I went to school at Allen Community College in the heating and air conditioning program, graduated there. I came out, and of course I was installing heating and air conditioning systems. I kind of got bored with that after a while, so I transferred over into the service department and learned how to service heating and air conditioning systems. From there, I went into sales with people up, and I was selling replacement heating and air conditioning systems. I sold a lot of energy management, building automation. Then I also started selling service contracts to our customers. And then I was fortunate to be offered a chance to be promoted up into a general management position in one of our service branches. So I did that for a while, got the opportunity again to get promoted to COO of the company. And from there, I became where I'm at today as president of Piedmont Service Group. I feel like we're a great company, have a lot to offer to these students. We cover North Carolina, part of South Carolina, and the southern part of Virginia. To give you an idea of our size, we're over $65 million in revenue a year and growing. So that's a lot of opportunities for students to come in and get jobs, so we're always looking for it. So again, thank you to Wake County Schools and Wake Tech and Vernon Malone for giving us these opportunities, and I'll turn it over to Mark Webster, our service manager.
Good morning. As Keith mentioned, I'm Mark Webster. I'm the service manager at Piedmont Service Group in the Raleigh branch. I don't believe I'm going to be able to top what Chris's mama said about him, but I'm going to give it a try. As she mentioned, when we came in here for the interviews and sat down, there was a group interview, which was all of the students that were sitting together, and I talked to them, they talked to me, they asked questions, I asked them questions, tried to get them to engage. Chris was very quiet in his group setting. He really didn't talk to me. He sat back in the back of the group, and I made it a point to keep leaning over and look at him and ask him questions. The biggest thing that I remember in a group interview about Chris is that he told me, with the training that he had, he could fix any air conditioning problems that he had. It was an easy trade. He had this done. Okay? And then I was kind of like, okay, so we moved on. Chris went to the one-on-one session with one of our managers, or actually two of our managers, and Chris came out of his shell a little bit. He did come out of his shell so much to tell our major license holder that Fortnite was a game for kids, and he didn't play it. Well, our manager played a lot of Fortnite. I don't know if you remember that. Well, Chris accepted the role as an intern, came into the company his first day. He walked in, and I'll have to be honest, he came in with his shoes untied. He came in with his shirt tail untucked and his hair messed up and looked like, frankly, he just got out of bed. We kind of let that go. First day he would come in and work, then he would go with the technician. Technician would kind of mentor him a little bit long, work with him. Came in that night, met his dad, got his way home. This worked same way every morning, shoes untied, breeches pulled up, and it was just like, okay, what are we getting ourselves into here? Oh man, this is going to be a long summer with this young man. So the more I kept talking to him and talking to the technicians, I was getting positive feedback from everybody out in the field that was telling me how Chris was really wanting to learn. How this kid wouldn't take an answer of, it's that way. He wanted to know, why is it that way? Why is it working this way? So with getting all the positive feedback, Chris coming in the next morning, I kind of looked at him and I asked him, Chris, did your mama forget to tie your shoes this morning? He kind of looked at me as if to say, what are you talking about? I'm like, if your mama didn't forget to tie your shoes, tuck your shirt tail in, look like you want a career, young man. He kind of just looked at me like, what? He disappeared, went to the bathroom, came back, shoes were tied, shirt tail was tucked in, hair kind of wet where he had brushed it down a little bit, and went on about his business and, looked professional. That's what we were looking for. I'm going to give you one feedback that a technician gave me, and you have to look at it as this is a cooling tower. This is a great big bathtub. You've got water pouring in on the top, and you've got a big sump at the bottom, and the water just keeps circulating. Chris and a young man had an opportunity. They were going to clean this on a Saturday. So the technician tells Chris, stay right here. I'm going to go drain this thing. I'm going to turn it off. We're going to get in there. We're going to clean it. The guy leaves, comes back 5 minutes later while the system's draining, and Chris is nowhere to be seen. He opens up the door and looks in the cooling tower, and I'm telling you, it's big. It's about a quarter big as this room. And Chris is standing in there, this deep water, with a shovel, trying to scoop the water out and all the mud out with it. The technician says, stop. Let's let it drain. Get out of there. So Chris got out, did his thing. The technician, they got the job done. The technician came back Monday morning and tells me, man, I don't know who this young man is, but he's ready to work. He's ready to work. He wants to get the job done. So Chris kept working. I will tell you that Chris earned the respect from that point alone. He was ready to work. He wanted to work. He engaged with all of my guys with why, how. And he wouldn't accept the wrong answer. He wouldn't accept just any old answer. You got to explain to me why. So he earned the respect of all my guys by quizzing them, making them better to make himself better. Chris worked a whole lot with one of my younger technicians, Eric Batten, a lot. All I heard at the end of the day when he got done with Eric and the beginning of the next morning, I hope I'm going with Eric again. Well, what did you and Eric do? Well, we did, and he would just engage and tell me everything they did all day long. And would tell me how much fun he was having. Started to wonder if they were getting any work done at all because they were having so much fun. But started looking at Eric's work and everything was productive. Everything was being good. Chris came in every evening, and I will say after work between 6:30 in the evening, he would meet his dad in the parking lot and go home. One morning, Chris comes in and tells me, Mark, my dad told me that if I couldn't get off work at a normal time, I'm going to have to find my way home. He's tired of waiting on me. I'm like, well, do you call him and tell him when you're coming home? No. And it was, okay, so the technician, I talked to the technician. I started noticing that the technicians were taking Chris home and the technicians were willing to pick Chris up. They're not getting paid to go pick him up. They're not getting paid to go take him home. But they liked him, they wanted to teach him, and they were, I got this. I'll get this kid home. I know his dad still comes in every evening on, during the week when he works. Weekends, my guys are over there, and she mentioned 5:30. They're picking him up at 5:30. They want their Saturday. So they're picking him up. He's ready. They tell me he's on the doorstep waiting. Okay. All joking aside, Chris, you've earned the respect of our team by doing nothing more than one thing. And students, I want you to listen to this. You did the job you were hired to do. You earned their respect by working with them, not waiting to be told what to do, asking, what can I do to make this easier? Okay, you have earned that respect with our group, and you know how we are. This is a bunch of adult men that if you're not going to work, they're going to say, get out of the way. Let me just do it. You didn't stand for that. You were like, show me, teach me. Okay, so we're offering Chris an offer letter to sign with this. I want to say that when Chris signs this offer letter, he is joining a family of guys that want him to make an HVAC career, not a job. We are going to make sure that Chris passes all of his courses. We are going to make sure that Chris understands his courses, and anything we can do to help him, that's what Piedmont Service Group is. You're a part of the family. So I'm going to give you an offer letter. Look for you to sign it. And welcome to the family. So Mom now, instead of 40 hours a week, he's up to 80. We got to try. Thank you.
Is that tracker so we can keep up with him on the track?
Yeah, we have a tracker that we can tell where he's at all times.
You know.
Are you done?
We're done.
All right, so with that said, I just want to say thank you. Piedmont has already reached out, and they are going to take some students next year. I didn't know if you were going to mention.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
That's
did
all right.
miss that part.
That's the
I'm
reason.
sorry, name.
No, you're fine. That's the reason I was just thinking to see.
Yeah, so as he mentioned, we are going to be taking at least 3 more students on next year. The names of these students that we've accepted and passed through the interview process and everything, and there may be a few to follow, are Justin Benjamin,